Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music. We're going to talk about how you can play a song called Vomit by Girls. And it starts off with this really cool A minor lick, actually. And if you wanted to kind of follow those notes, you could start with first finger on the G string on the 5th fret, third finger on the D string on the 7th fret for kind of a little A minor 9, actually, with all the open strings together. And there's this cool little picking pattern where you can start off open A, G string, B string, G string, high E string, B string, G string, and then the D string. Actually kind of holding that down. And I'm doing that finger style. You could do this with the pick too. I'm kind of taking my thumb for the A string and setting my fingers up, index on the G, middle finger on the B, ring finger on the high E string. So that way I can kind of think thumb, index, middle, index, ring, middle, index, and then moving the thumb to the D string for that lick. So that way every finger's kind of got a job to do. The thumb kind of ends up doing double time for the D string, but you may kind of dig on that. And that lick actually is around an A minor chord. When you play A minor, first finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D second, third finger on the G string second. So if you want to just back that up with a chord, you can start on just the A minor chord. Now around A minors, it can be kind of cool to lift the first finger, make that an A suspended second, or you could add in the pinky on the B string 3rd for an A suspended and kind of say some things around that chord. Or randomly, you may also want to dig on lifting off the 3rd finger, make that an A minor 7, or you could add in the pinky on the high E 3rd for an A minor 7, or you may even dig on an A7 sus, where you could do first finger on the D second, second finger on the G second, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd. That sounds slightly unresolved, but that might be kind of cool if you kind of dig on that sound. And then from there we go into a little E minor chord, and you may want to do this from 5th fret on the D string, 3rd finger on the A string, 7th fret. And if you strum just the E string to the G string, I think that's what they're really kind of going for. It's almost kind of like a strum, bass, strum, bass, strum, bass, strum, bass kind of an idea. You can even do that with the fingers and just kind of alternate A string, D string, G string is what I'm doing for index, middle, ring. And then alternating that with the thumb can be kind of a cool way to kind of work that. Or you can back that up with a root position chord on an E minor chord. And when you play E minor, first finger goes to A on the 2nd fret, second finger on the D 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, it sounds like E minor chord and it sounds really sad. Now you could also add in the 3rd finger on the B 3rd fret for an E minor 7, or you could add in the pinky on the high E 3rd for an E minor 7. Make that a little bit thicker. So chord-wise, you've got kind of an A minor idea, kind of through that lick, and another A minor idea, and then an E minor idea. So you kind of dig on it that way. Or if you're backing it up to a root position, you may want to try just downs. Actually, we're just starting out kind of A minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, A minor. And I'm adding a little bit of right hand music to that to make that a little sneaky. So that might be kind of a cool way to kind of back it up to E minor, A minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, A minor, E minor. So you kind of dig on it that way. Or you may dig on the strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, down, which would be a really slow pace for the tune. So if we just tried that a lot on the A minor, you'd have it down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So if we tried that through the progression, you'd have the A minor, A minor, E minor, myself, what was feeling really close to the recording note is something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot to the beat, right now we're dividing that beat into 2 parts with our down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 1, 2, and that's called an 8th note. What a 16th note is where you divide that into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is a long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. And what I mean by that is if you take the A minor and do it down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you'd be doing on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you do it down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Then on the third beat, you do up on 2, down on 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 up, down, 1 up, down, 1 up, down. And then on the last beat, you'd be going down, down, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So down, 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 down. So all together, you got down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. So we tried that through our main verse idea. You had A minor, A minor, or you may even dig on those voicings from the chords. Actually, the 5 and 7 could be very cool on the D and the D string or the A minor chord, and then using that E minor for the 5 and 7 on the D and then A string. So we kind of dig on that too. And then from there, we'll be repeating that twice for our verse, well, twice for our intro, twice for our verse, and then going into our chorus part. And we start on a G major for the chorus. And normally you do this first finger on the A second, second finger on the low E third, and third finger on the high E third. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now you may also dig on putting third finger on the B third, pinky on the high E third, kind of working that for the G major. And randomly, you'll kind of hear some bass notes moving around the G, where you'd have the low E string third fret, or the open A, or the second fret on the A. It could be kind of cool to kind of move those notes around the G. It'd be kind of cool. And then from there, we'd be going back to our A minor chord. So you could do that with the down, down, up, kind of slow pace. So you'd have the G, down, up, down, G, down, up, down, A minor, G, another G, kind of on that first chorus. Or if you're digging on the 16th, you have the G, one other thing I think about adding to the song is more bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you can throw in a bass note for the chord. So on the A minor, you'd have the A string for the bass. On the G, you'd have low E for the bass. And on the E minor, you'd have low E string for the bass. So we tried kind of the intro with the bass down, up, down, up. You'd have the A minor, the bass, down, up. For those higher voices, actually kind of working that 5 and 7 for the A minor and the A minor, so or the A minor, and the E minor. Now, if you're digging on the 16th pattern there, you can kind of embellish that with more basses, and you can make it a bass down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, or a bass, down, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up. Can all be really cool variations. A minor, A minor, through the intro and the verse, and then we go into a solo. And randomly on the solo, if you want to kind of jam along with that, actually, the notes that would kind of back that up would be an A minor pentatonic scale. So you can make up all kinds of stuff. And I just shot a video the other day from Munson Jam Tracks that was talking about pentatonic scales and soloing in the key of A minor, which is cool because this is the right key. So that scale actually is something I call pattern number 1. You'd have 5 to 8 on the low E string, 5 to 7 on the A, 5 to 7 on the D, 5 to 7 on the G, 5 to 8 on the B string, and then 5 to 8 on the high E string. So you're playing an A and a C and a D and an E and a G is the 5 notes of the scale. A, C, D, E, G, and then A, all kinds of licks you could add in. You could try hammer-on licks. You may want to check out that video if you're interested in playing more lead guitar kind of stuff. Pull-offs, slides, as an idea, bends, double stops where you play 2 notes at the same time. In that video I talk about a lot of other licks, patterns of 3, 1 note per string, skipping kind of ideas. It is kind of cool because you got the open strings that back up that solo. So you could, if you wanted to, play the open A, make up a lick, open A, make up a lick, open E, make up a lick. So even if you're playing a solo, you could use the open E string and the open A string to back up your solo ideas. And then from that solo, then we go back into our intro and back through our verse until we get to our second chorus. Our second chorus kind of tacks on an extra A minor at the very end. So we tried that with the bass down, up, down, up. We'd have the G. Oh, actually, bass down, up, down. G. Or if you're digging on the 16ths, you have the G, A minor, starts on G major. Randomly through this part, I was kind of digging on bars because they give you a little bit more control of killing things. So if you dig on bar chords, you could do this G major as a 3rd fret bar, 2nd finger on the G, 4th fret, 3rd finger on the A 5th, pinky on the D 5th. You kind of strum all those together, and actually you kind of hear this cool rhythm through that part where it's almost kind of a bass, down, and then you kind of kill the strings. And that's what the bar is going to help with. So kind of a bass, down, kill it. Bass, down, but I'm killing it with the left hand. So I'm actually lifting the bar up to kill the string. So we kind of dig on that. And then from the G, we'd be going to a B minor chord. And normally, and we'll talk about some easy ways to play this too, but normally you do it as a 2nd fret bar, 2nd finger on the B 3rd, 3rd finger on the D 4th, pinky on the G 4th. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord. It sounds really sad. And you may also dig on lifting off the pinky, making that a B minor 7. Or another way to play B minor 7 would be doing 1st finger on the A 2nd, 2nd finger on the G 2nd, 3rd finger on the high E 2nd, kind of working that for your B minor. Or if you're digging on that other G voicing, you could do it on 1st finger on the A 2nd, 2nd finger on the G 2nd, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of working that for your B minor. That might make it a little bit easier to get from the G, it's just 1 finger move away from the B minor. And then from the B minor, we go to a C major chord. And normally you do this 1st finger on the B 1st fret, 2nd finger on the D 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the A string 3rd fret, and if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord and sounds really happy. Now around C's in general, you may want to lift off the 1st finger and add C major 7, or you could add in the pinky on the B string 3rd, C major 9, and kind of say some stuff around it. Or another way to play C major 9 would be doing 1st finger on the D 2nd, 2nd finger on the A 3rd, 3rd finger on the B 3rd, pinky on the high E 3rd, kind of strumming the A string to the high E string. If you're digging on the bar idea, you can do this as a 3rd fret bar, 3rd finger over the D, G, and B strings to kind of get the C major that way. So there's a couple different ways you could kind of work that through the bridge part. In the second half of the bridge, I'm just considering part of the outro, but you could start that with a bass down, up, down, up. And the weird part is, on the B minor, you'd have the A for the bass, and on the C, you'd have the A for the bass. So you could kind of try it that way. You'd have the G with low E bass, B minor with an A bass, C with an A bass, G with a low E bass. Or you could do it with the 16th pattern. And then you have a G, kind of work that bass, bass, down, kill it twice, kind of an idea. So G bass, bass, down, G bass, bass, down, B minor, C, G. See me kind of dig on that too. I was throwing a little bit of muting there. Bass, bass, down, kill it, mute, mute with a down up. On that. And then from there we go into some awesome killer licks, and actually this part you would definitely hear the fingerstyle kind of come in, but we start on an A minor chord through that progression, and then from the A minor it's almost like a little halving idea, where from the A minor you could take the pinky and add it in on the low E string 3rd fret, and that makes that something called an A minor slash G, or an A minor chord with a G note in the bass. It's almost like a halving thing. If you're doing the downs, it'd almost be like A minor for 4, A minor slash G for 4, to lead us into a D major chord. And normally you do this first finger on the G second, second finger on the high E second, third finger on the B string 3rd. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord and it sounds really happy. Around Ds in general, it can be cool to lift the second finger. Always a dangerous finger to lift. It makes a D sus2. Or you could add in the pinky on the high E 3rd for a suspended chord and kind of say some things around the D chord. And then from the D we go to a G major chord. And then we kind of have that with the bass note changes there to an F sharp note. And you may want to use a G slash F sharp. If you're doing the 4-finger G, the easiest thing to do is lift 2 and put the first finger on the low E 2nd fret. And that's something called G major, but now we got an F sharp in the bass. And the A string is not so important, I think, for that voicing. Or if you're doing the regular G, you do that same idea where you lift 2 and put first finger on the low E 2nd fret. And it's almost like a halving idea, kind of G for 4, G slash F sharp for 4, and then E minor for 8. So through that whole outro idea, you get kind of A minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor slash G, D, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, G, 2, 3, 4, G slash F sharp, E minor. Or you could try the bass down, up, and this is a little weird. On the A minor, you'd have the A for the bass, and then you may want to do just the down, up, A minor slash G with a low E bass, and you got your D with a D bass, the whole pattern, and then G with low E bass, G slash F sharp with low E bass, and then E minor with low E bass. So you kind of dig on it that way too. A minor, down, up, A minor slash G, D with the D bass, G with low E bass, G slash F sharp with low E bass, E minor with low E bass. Or if you're digging on the 16th idea, the weird part's where we're halving, and you may want to do just the down or the bass, down, down, kind of all the halving idea. So the A minor with an A bass, down, down, E minor slash G, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, G slash low E bass, or G, G slash F sharp, E minor, A minor with an A bass, E minor slash G with low E bass, D with a D bass, G with low E bass, G slash F sharp low E bass, E minor with low E bass, kind of working it out. Now there's some killer licks through that part, and I was digging on working this more as a finger style idea. And you can kind of start on the A minor chord, and if you take your thumb for your bass player for the A string, and then index on the G, middle finger on the B string, and ring finger on the high E string, that's kind of the setup. So it's kind of a bass, and then arpeggio wise, actually you can even take the first A minor idea and then run with it, just to kind of fake through that part, which would be cool too. So it's kind of a bass, and then G, B, G, E, B, G, B, where you're going A string, G, B, G, E, B, G, B. And what I'm doing finger-wise is kind of thumb, index, ring, middle, index, middle. And what could be cool is to take that idea and then just kind of run with it, actually through the chords. So you could take that arpeggio idea, or broken chord idea for the right hand, do it for the A minor, for the A minor slash G, and then when we get to the D chord, you could do it for the D with the D bass. We do that twice. And then we'd have the G with the low E bass, G/F sharp with low E bass, and then E minor with the low E bass. So you may kind of dig on just taking that one pattern and running with it. A minor/G, D, D, G, G/F sharp, E minor. Or there's a couple variations of that that kind of happen. You could have the A minor idea, the A minor/G idea, just like we talked about it just now. But then on the D chord, you start with the same idea we started with, but then you hear this cool little D lick where you could go second fret on the high E string as a hammer-on pull-off. So you hammer on the third, and then you let your finger fall off the string to the back to the second. So you got 2, 3, 2 as a hammer-on pull-off, and then you may want to pull off the open E, and then third on the B string, open E as a hammer-on to 2, and then back to the open, and then back to 3. Oh yeah. 2, 3, 2, oh, and then the 3, oh, 2, hammer on, and then we go straight to the 3. Actually, I put an extra O on my paper. I'll try and get rid of it for your tab. So we got 2, 3, 2, oh, 3, oh, 2, 3, and then the G. You may want to take the 4-finger G major, and then lift off the pinky so that you got the open E on the top, doing the same arpeggio we started with, and then the G/F sharp with the same arpeggio. But then, let's see, there's a variation here. You go low E, G, B, G, B. Then we play third fret on the B string and do a slide to 5th fret, and then we go to open B before we pick it back up on the E minor. So that's a little weird on that G/F sharp. You got low E, G, B, G, 3, 3 slide, open B, and then the E minor idea. Another E minor. So all the way through that, with those little variations, you have the A minor idea, A minor/G, D, D lick, So you got the A minor/G, D major, then we got our lick, and then the G major idea with the open E, G/F sharp, and then the E minor. So let me kind of dig on working on those. Actually, that can be a cool thing to practice. A minor/G. Especially after that first time through, you may want to go back into the strumming just to kind of make that really big. And actually, randomly, another way to half the 16th pattern, this can be kind of cool, is you could do the A minor with the bass, down, down, up, and then on the A minor/G, you may want to do the up, bass, down, up, down, kind of half them that way. Then you have the D with the whole pattern. And then you can do that same idea for the G/F sharp. G with the bass, down, down, up, and G/F sharp with the up, bass, down, and down, and then the E minor with the whole pattern. So if you dig on that, you can kind of mix it up to A minor. Or you can add another licks to this too. Feel free to take this lesson and kind of run with it any way you want to. Time right after the D major chord, we just hit a big G chord at the very end. But that's the basics of how you could strum Vomit by Girls. Good luck!